We sure are.
All right. Thank you for bearing with us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Kyleberry Sr. I senior the messenger, and joining me is vslackSR, the world record holder of linear and any percent no out of bounds. And joining us on commentary is minus 27.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Minus. I also speedrun the messenger, and like I said, I'll be popping in to help commentate this run.
All right. I reckon we're ready to get right into the run. So, Vlack, could you just hit something in the chat? Let me know you're ready for a countdown. I see a hi already, but I just need like an R or a shovel, please. We're ready. All right, we're going to count down now, starting from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck. Have fun.
Good luck, y'all, too. All right, so let's take this moment as we're loading in the first level of the game, the Ninja Village, just to talk a little bit about what you're about to see. So this is going to be a linear, no out-of-bounds race of the messenger. So as we've introduced, we've got Kyleberry, who's actually the world record holder of the 8-bit portion of this run currently, and I think currently third place on the linear leaderboard versus Vlack, who's second place in 8-bit, but holds the world record currently for linear. I am very excited for this race. Because now that it's linear, it could go any way. And they're both super strong runners, so it just depends on, I guess, what mood they're in today.
I'm feeling pretty spicy, for sure. I just saw my boy Rock Sewer back there. He taught me how to cloud step, so I've got a lot of confidence. Cloud step is this really central mechanic to the messenger flow that really kind of defines the game and makes it stand out in my heart. Minus, would you like to take our audience through what the cloud step is?
So there it is. So the cloud step, how the major function of the cloud step is that when you attack something while in the air, you're going to get these kind of bars that you see underneath the ninja. That's going to give you an extra jump that you can use. We're going to just abuse the heck out of it for this run. So that's going to allow them to get great heights, do some cool skips. It's going to be awesome.
Quick thank you to the Western hero who showed up on the Phoenix back to give us a homie shard. He gave Lack 2 homie shards, and myself 1. Every enemy in this game has a 40% chance to drop one of those yellow time shards, and that's our currency in this run. We're going to want to get 34 in this next stretch before the first shop.
So we start this race off in new game. So they've got nothing. They have all they have really is Cloud Step and the ability to slash your sword. That's it. So as Kyle was saying, those upgrades are going to be essential to speed up the race as they go further and further on. You'll see runners of this caliber pulling off some insane strats. I've already seen Kyle trying some turtle boosts. Kyle, why don't you go and explain turtle
Spicy
boosts?
blessing. Alright, so turtles and breakable blocks and other things in this game that take more than one hit to destroy generally will push you back in the direction you slash from. But if you slash from the opposite direction first and then spin your sword into them, they'll actually give you a little boost. It's pretty minimal overall, but when you're trying to just squeeze water out of a stone and save every frame possible, it's something you want to consider.
That was a pretty cute shop there.
Thank you. We say cutest shops in town to our friend shopkeeper. We try to do a cute hop when we exit the shop.
So when we're working at this level for these races, you see minor details that kind of separate the two. So for instance, Kyle taking a few hits in that first room, whereas Vlack had missed a few time shards coming down and had to go back to the wall to grab some. Our next big skip here, you see they try to damage boost through the spike pit.
Let's go,
Kyle got
Vlack.
knocked back left, while Vlack got the right boost, which put him slightly in the lead. We get to now come into our first little water section, where we always take a moment to shout out to the composer of the music for this game, Rainbow Dragon Eyes. Some amazing music I'll find myself listening to even when I'm not running the game, even though this song in particular you'll hear as a runner of the game more often than you probably hope to.
Oh yeah. But I still love it.
So our runners got a nice little shave off of these these little spinning wheels, so they can look real nice and clean for their date with the spike wall. We'll see how they tackle the spike wall. Just
spoilies.
oh, so Vlak had gotten over the spike wall, whereas Kyle tried to go a little bit more respect on the route, which I do respect the attempt for, but unfortunately got bounced backwards and had to do it the normal way.
Thank you, thank you. So
So
Autumn
now
Hills,
at-
though being the first level in the game, is actually probably the most difficult level, at least from my perspective in speedrunning. I think there's just a lot of tight movement to be made in just this first part of the game. It really does a good job of showcasing some of the flow.
And one of my favorite reasons for running this category and new game is that a lot of the reliance, especially early on, is just on your execution of simple game mechanics. Movement, cloud stepping, jumping, all of it.
Absolutely.
So,
There's no like horizontal warm-up on your speed, but there is like a vertical velocity. So you want to try to avoid hitting corners, as that could take about 0.3 seconds off of your time.
They may not. Well, that might seem like a lot or not, depending on who you are, but over the course of the run, that adds up. Get some pretty clean climbs coming up the final wall as they come for the shop that they should not forget to shop in. I have done that many times, and it is funny in all the wrong ways. All right, so the upgrade they picked up here was shurikens. I don't know if I talked about the first upgrade, which allowed them to attack enemy projectiles, which is a very important upgrade. But the upgrades they picked up here with the shards they were collecting from the stage are shurikens, which is going to help them get the first a one cycle on this boss. Both runners get it no problem, and they also picked up an ability to air recover when they take damage. So that will help. That will also help out with several damage boosts or just safety. We're going to come into the most difficult level in the run right here. Forlorn Temple. It's a nasty little level. You come through. They throw a whole bunch of stuff at you. Oh wait a second. This is not any percent. Okay, never mind. We're done.
We're out.
We're done with this place. Yeah, we're out. We're done with this place.
We're gonna see my favorite little buddy here, Necro. Hi, Necro. Necro is a Phobican. Why don't you tell them a little bit about our friends, the Phobicans?
Oh, the Phobicans. Oh, we love them so much dearly. In this particular run, you probably won't see any more of them. That one is Necro, deathly afraid of, well, you get it. And he's just sitting down here stuck in the catacombs, hanging out with our best buddy ever, Ruxton.
Hi, Ruxton.
Hi, Ruxton. I missed you.
Ruxton's a dear
So
friend.
collecting all four of the Phobicans will open up the bridge that we just fell through in Forlorn, but since we don't need to go back there, we're all good. Kyle trying some relatively new strats for trying to speed this room up just a little bit. Unfortunately, didn't get it.
Try the Vlax tech, actually, the newest tech in Catacombs, the aquatic butt boost. You want to get hit to the right by those spikes, though, not the left.
Kyle, if you had to describe Catacombs, how would you do it?
Butts and cycles. So we have
Butts
the
and
aquatic
cycles.
butt boost now, and we have a skip coming up later called the Badonkadonk. These are real strat names from your friends, the Bamboo Boys. And this level is also all about cycles. Every moving object you see here on the screen begins moving when we enter the room. Except for these two crushes at the bottom of the screen. They wait for us to appear kind of in their eyesight if crushes had eyes.
It actually is kind of nice when practicing it because you can reset the cycles and practice them and kind of get a feeling for like if you're gonna make a cycle or not. But a lot of them can be pretty unforgiving. Well, let's see here. So Vlak did not go for the damage boost, so he got to go through this room a little bit faster, whereas Kyle had to pop up and grab health. So we're seeing pretty good sync. Kyle and Vlak, let's see, they're both going for it. Kyle gets it. Vlak's using the pause buffering strat, to also get it. So we got both. We got two Badonks.
Poggers buffering.
I love it. Some of the health management you see here, they want to be able to have enough health to be able to damage boost through there to speed up this room. Spikes, especially at this stage of the game, will do 3 damage to you if you take a hit. So you usually try to look at your health before you jump to make sure you can take a hit like that.
Usually.
Usually.
It's a good idea. I'll say that.
We find ourselves pretty confident we have the health and then realize we took a hit on a whiz robe. Alright, so this big crusher skip right here, it's all about clean movement through this room so that you can skip this cycle. Of course, both runners get it, no problem.
No fancy risky strats there, no?
No, I guess not.
There are some scary things jumping over the pendulum, but we're not trying to do that in a race.
So let's see if Ruxton got mad that Yabo skipped him. What we shoot for in this boss fight is that Ruxton goes high for our runners. A low Ruxton will lose you, I think, about 8 seconds. Black gets the high Ruxton.
Let's go.
Kyle's got to go low, so you get to see both strats right here. And you can see how fast high Ruxton is. And he got a top kill too. That's amazing.
Actually sick. Let's give it up for Black. Amazing. That's a very difficult kill to pull off.
Yeah, yeah. Usually you'll miss like the final hit and have to drop down the middle platform with him for like another second at most. But yeah, so with the high Ruxton, Black now pulls ahead and goes in Bamboo Creek. Kyle, I'm gonna leave this one up to you.
You got it. So I will sing for you guys the song of our people. I'm gonna stand by as I jump through this water. I like Chinese food is good for you. I like to eat Chinese food, and Chinese food is yummy too. If you like me too, you will bring me Chinese food, because it is so yummy. Did I mention I like Chinese food? I like Chinese food is good for you. I like to eat Chinese food, and Chinese food is yummy too. If you like me too, you will bring me Chinese food, because it is so yummy, and especially with Mountain Dew.
Believe it or not, those are the official lyrics for this song given to us by the composer.
Except for the Shuri Bear Mountain Dew lyrics, yes.
Yeah, you always gotta add in your little twist there. So each level kind of feels and has its theme through the linear portion of this game. Bamboo is the next level where nothing big gets added to it. You kind of just expand on the stuff that you've already picked up.
It's not out of bounds, by the way.
That is not out of bounds. With our definition of out of bounds, it requires going through some kind of static obstacle or blockage. And since there is nothing there stopping you from coming on top, nor are we transitioning any rooms doing so, that is legal on a no out of bounds run. Flack getting the into skip, also using a pause buffer again. Kyle getting it without the pause buffer. So both intos, very smooth room.
Small hiccup on the switches, but we take those. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Bamboo.
Bamboo just comes and goes real fast like that, especially when you get some of those top skips down. Let's see here. So Vlak is done now. He's rich. They both are. So we got both the runners who are rich. They're not going to need to hang out in Rob's bank. But they're not going to need to hang out in the waterfall. They're going to be able to drop quickly through this room.
Speaking of which,
picking up money. You're going to want 275 before the next shop, if I remember it correctly. Both of them have plenty. So this is the next big shopping point as they're coming into Grotto here. The upgrades that we're going to see them pick up is a mandatory upgrade for the wingsuit, which is going to show a lot of fun stuff with that, as well as 2 more upgrades. The speed boost through water in this run, I think we'll only see once, and then the other upgrade being the glide slash, essentially. So when they're wingsuiting, like what you're seeing here, they'll be able to slash underneath them. So helps with some additional movement tech that will start to get introduced in the next couple levels.
All
also,
right, guys,
great job.
we got a couple donations here.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have Mary with $2.13. It says, yeah, charity.
Yeah.
We have Samurai Yudinsha with 300 bits. This is Bamboo Boys Hype.
Sam, respect.
And we have Samurai with $25 with the comment, world record or riot. Capital, let's go Bamboo Boys.
Kyle, there you go.
Let's do
You
it.
don't have a choice now.
Hey.
All right, so let's see here. We got... There you go. Kyle getting the DK skip.
Thank you, Samurai.
Named after, well, nothing in particular. The room seems to remind us all of Donkey Kong, the original Donkey Kong game, so that's where it got its name from. We can't always be creative with our names. I like the name.
It's a good name. Shoutouts to Heather, an old Messenger speedrunner. Gonna go for a pretty difficult execution here. Hoping that we can get this, yeet. Next time.
That yeet is incredibly difficult, and that room, you die in more often than you feel like you should, falling straight into that pit. What Kyle was trying to do was get a cloud step off of the lamp in the previous room, use the yeet, so that's the speed boost that we talked about, probably the only time you'll see it. Speed boost to the water, jump out, maintain the speed, hold the cloud step as you transition to the next room, and then make a jump holding that velocity so that you clear the following room. Very difficult. And we're coming to the end of the grotto now. Trying to check here to see if there was a... I think y'all hay skipped.
That's a hay skip for both of us, yep. So there's a bit crunch sound of all the devs yelling, hey, in some of the level tracks, and so we use that as an audio cue and try to get to this boss before the second one.
Alright, let's talk about Emerald Golem, the next boss of this game. So what these runners are trying to do is to cycle the boss, and to do that you need to do 8 hits to the core in order to start damaging the boss. What they do is they do 7 hits on the core, use a shuriken for the 8th hit when they're on the side of the screen so they can get up and do the most damage possible to get the second cycle. I'm curious to see if anyone's going to go for the relatively new setup for early hits on our buddy here. Kyle went for it, got a few extra hits. Oh, and a fast kill. Good job.
Thank you. He juked me a bit, but we still got him pretty low.
That was really good. So that's relatively new. Kyle was timing for when the golem would go down, and our buddy came up to damage, and so he drops at the moment. I think you timed for like the eyes dropping down below the screen so that you can fall and hit him while he's off screen a few times to get a few extra hits in.
Shoutouts to Archon, I believe.
Golem son. I think so. I can't remember.
Apologies, I'm having a brain fart. But hey,
Yeah,
shoutouts to the breakdown in this level.
Oh my goodness. All right, so now we are in we're in Quilshroom Marsh. So Quilshroom is the next level where nothing too big gets introduced, but you get to continue to utilize some of the neat stuff we pulled in. Kyle's coming into what would you say, the one of the longer rooms, one of the longer horizontal rooms in the game?
That's right, and you can move through this room optimally without letting go of the right input, except a turtle boost.
That's right. So all we're seeing here is just a very long room, and all they want to do is continue to maintain their momentum moving right. So whatever they can do to essentially not have to stop. That's
In a
how you got
nutshell,
the room pretty good.
Just hold right, forehead.
So something to note, especially how these runners will go through these rooms. This level can be relative. This level is dangerous. This level is dangerous because we don't really pick up checkpoints very much here. Of course, you don't want to die at all, but dying here can be huge time sinks because these runners are going to skip the next checkpoint too. And I think both of y'all did. Neither one of y'all picked up the previous checkpoint either, so you would go back very far to the beginning of the horizontal room.
Oh yes. If I even got that one, I don't know.
I didn't see. I can't remember.
Shoutouts to Pupa for the double shuriken setup.
There has been plenty of folks who have their own like little setups for getting those 2 shurikens in the right place, so that you don't have to climb up and hit it yourself. Pupa having one of my favorite ones, easy to set up and run with. It basically positioning yourself on the screen before so that you can so that your arc is set when you throw both the shurikens so that they're in line with each other.
Exactly.
Typically. Otherwise, we typically throw the first one well, but the second one's too low or something like that.
Yeah, I usually mess up if I just try to wing it.
All right, so Kyle's coming up right now on like another small cycle skip here. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, he bonked, so he'll wait for it. Okay. If you get to that room fast enough, that spike platform, you can actually jump around it without having to wait. But if you get there a little slow, you kind of make the call that, no, if I try that, it's just going to move, and that's a death. All right, Queen of Quills. It seems about every time or so we come back to this boss, someone tries to make it even faster and more difficult to do. What our runners are doing right now is counting hits, keeping track of how much damage they do, and are trying to get a cycle without. There it is. Oh, Kyle.
Patience.
So, what you don't want to see is what you got to see in neither one of these screens. So there's a cycle right after that where she starts whipping for a while, and then jumps up and back down before you can deliver the final hit. But if you do enough damage before that cycle, you skip it completely. It's a really hard trick to do because you kind of have to manage your damage so you don't do too much in the first phase, and then a bunch in the second phase, and they nailed it. They nailed it, both of them. Oh, rope dart.
Thank you, shopkeeper.
We appreciate you for everything that you do. A lot just happened in the shop here. So the first thing they got was the rope dart, last mandatory upgrade for this run. And with this, we can RDE. We can go fast. We can rope dart everything. They also happened to pick up 2 upgrades while they were in there for health. So they picked up a health upgrade and then an upgrade for health to start dropping when they kill enemies. They'll try to utilize that. Respect the yeet, by the way.
Thank you. Shout out to Pupa and Kodron. And Ananas.
Oh, yeah.
It's a difficult little corner jump there. It's very nice, though.
So for anyone who's coming back to this type of run, don't leash the bird. Don't worry about leashing the bird. We don't need that. We don't need that in there. I won't even get into leashing. That's a whole other thing.
We might see some in the tower, but just the tip of the iceberg.
If you pull that off, I will try my best to explain it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So rope dart, just at a high level, lets us do a lot of things. Other than going very fast, actually is a very interesting tool for manipulating the game. And one thing we might see is teleports. I know Kyle loves to go for the 8-bit teleport that's been found, plus maybe some Cloud Ruin ones.
Oh, you know it.
So I'll talk about that when we get there. Oh, good, you leashed that. And then there you go. In one tile. Very clean. So they're both runners choosing to do a right ascent on that room. Very cool looking. We come into Kolos and Susis. Kolos and Susis, one of the big RNG parts of this run. There are many different kind of collections of attacks they can do. You hope for the faster ones, but you don't have any control, so you have to react based on how they choose to go. So we watch as they pull it off. It looks like I already lost track. Y'all are going so fast. I think Kyle is now done with the fight. They just need to do the final switch. And then Vlak should be right behind you. Yep. So still very close range. Very close race. And they're going to bump us up to the next level. Everyone's going to start putting shovels. Shovel, please, in the chat. Kyle, you can't be...
You gotta lead the charge.
Kyle coming and leading the charge with a shovel, please, in chat while he's racing.
It's a good song.
It's a good song. It's a banger.
We definitely have time to read some donations if we got some.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we got another $10 donation from X White Wolf. Yeah, $10 from X White Wolf with the comment, "Good luck runners, and cancer can just F off."
That's right. Thank you, White Wolf.
All right, let's talk about Glacial. So Glacial is the next level. This the kind of the build up for 8-bit. It's just an amazing ascent. It feels one of my favorite levels in 8-bit. Just bring everything together and you climb this mountain as fast as you can. So you get to see some quick movements. Everything comes into play here. I'm trying to remember what the next... I keep anticipating the teleport. We're not there yet. You can tell I love teleports.
We got the ice climber coming up. A Brazilian ice climber named after Cassio. Oh, I might eat to death here.
Whew, okay. Yeah, some of these ice spots can be very scary because the snow will fall when you touch it, and you'll either have to reset the rooms faster or wait for the snow to come back. Kyle getting the one tile coming into Dragon Strike room. Here we go. There it is. Okay. All right. So what you got to see there was what we call it's a teleport. So shout out to Justin for all of the teleports he's found for us. So one of the fascinating things with the rope dart is how it manipulates the enemies that you rope dart. So how teleporting works is when you rope dart an enemy, you start flying towards it and hit it. But if you slash first before rope darting, the slash animation stays in front of you. And if that hits the enemy first, the rope dart doesn't quite finish. And at that moment where you're connecting with the non-enemy, another enemy of the same type is coming on screen. If the timing is just right, your character will actually teleport to that enemy to finish off your rope dart. That's the basic way of describing it. So because of that, there are very specific times that you can use it, and you got to get the setups just right. That one is very difficult and pretty scary because if you mess up, that's just a pit underneath you, you die.
Apologies if I go a little quiet in here.
So, Tower of Time, also known as the Tower of Tears, also known as the Tower of Time Loss. I'm going to try to keep up with what's about to
Hail
happen
Mary.
here. This is a scary place. A lot of runs go to die here, and you're going to see. We might see a death or two depending on how crazy these folk get. Kyle just Hail Marying through the first Wizrow room, whereas Black's going to take it a bit safer. Might try to take some damage, but no, he'll take it a bit safer for the lasers, which I don't blame him. These lasers, Kyle, why? These lasers will, and then damage boosting off of the Wizrobe to get to the room. These lasers do 4 damage to you if you touch them, so more than spikes. You're not going to have more than 6 health in this area, so you can only take 1. Okay, I didn't want to have to explain leashing.
So that was the leash opportunity. We didn't get it, so we don't have to explain it.
Oh, thank God.
Perfect RNG though. I mean, really good.
Yeah,
anyway.
it looked really good. All right, so let me see if so Black goes for 2. Shoutouts to Levy. My favorite way to get to that room.
Ooh.
All right, Kyle is coming through right now.
No health drops. That's gonna spell disaster for the runner.
Kyle having 3 health will just have to do the laser room the old-fashioned way. Vlak's actually coming towards it with full health, so you might see a laser skip. You'll need at least 5 health to even attempt, which is almost all of your health. So it just goes to show how taking any damage while you're here can really throw off your however you're going to tackle the tower. So Vlak nailing it, of course, and then pulling forward through the run. And then Kyle's going to start ascending up and go to the next room. We should see here no walk of shames, I think, for anybody.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah, a little hit there. We didn't talk a lot about shuriken management in some of these levels, especially in 8-bit. We have certain spaces that we use. Our 3 shurikens we have that you don't typically pick up any more from until you move to the next level. So it was a big example of like that last shuriken they throw so they don't have to do the long walk across. We call it the walk of shame. Kyle entering the time waster room, which it was just this. They just go through these rooms and waste your time. But with our little backward slashes, which to summarize quickly is just you input away from the wall while holding on to it, slash and then jump, kind of in that order. Then the slash will pop behind you for a second and then get hit through like crystals in the wall. I think I said that right. All right, so
That's
we're coming into the last boss of 8-bit. So typically this is where the 8-bit run would end as soon as Arcane Golem goes down. We've got both runners in the Golem fight at the same time. Man, it's close. All right. So we're going to see huge abuse of the iframes given by rope darts, another great function of them, where when you get in there and start using the rope darts, you have some time where you just have these extended iframes where you won't take any damage as long as you maintain your pattern, your rhythm. Great kill by Kyle. And
Thank
so
you.
with that, he's done with 8-bit. We're done. That was good. Good job. But wait, there's more, because everyone donated and was very sweet to the cause that we're all here for. We're going to continue on this race and pop into the linear portion of the run. I'm very excited for this. And good job for Vlak.
Vlak's got 2
clean
seconds
kill.
up by the looks.
Oh, that's true. Y'all's timing is off. For me. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Let me refresh these to make sure everyone's synced up. So, Kyle,
Yes.
that's a neat hat.
Thank you. It's
What
kind of
we've
like
done.
Raiden.
Okay. It's kind of like Raiden, right? So what we've done is we've transitioned from 8 to 16-bit. 8 is used to simulate the concept that we've moved forward in time. So more animation frames, the sound is like the music is amped up, everything.
Oops.
And now we're going to come through. Honestly, has to be I'd say probably my least favorite level. Kyle, why?
You have to.
Oh my god, that's so cool. All right, Kyle going for all the 1 tiles to speed that room up a little bit. Oh, so cool. All right, so 16-bit Cloud Ruins that they're going through right now is can be a pretty unforgiving level. It's got amazing music and some really interesting rooms, and also just some very tough rooms that I die in all the time, and it makes me hate myself.
It's okay. Mistakes are excellent teachers.
Speaking of teachers, well, I guess I wouldn't call Manfred a teacher, but he's taught me many things, like patience. So who you see here is our favorite Sky Serpent, Manfred, who's been hanging out in the wrong crowd lately, if I'd have to imagine. Red's not really your color, bud. I think I'd like you more in like a soft blue, if I could. But Manfred seems pretty mad at us, so we're just gonna run away from him, let him cool off. So we got the, that was nice. There's several different cycle skips you'll see in this area. Let's see here, so that like they kind of pop out of the room and pop back into rope dart to skip a cycle real fast. I see them entering my least favorite room, period. Just a giant room. Oh, nice teleport. Just a giant room with a pit and a bunch of sirens where anything can go wrong and you just fall to your death. So another teleport here. Nice. I love those teleports.
Those are the 3 we know of in the linear run. We're always hoping to find more.
Always. Every new teleport gets me excited. I love teleporting. Flack's getting it too. Solid. Watch him.
So second Manfred chase, kind of dicey. I don't totally memorize this one. It's kind of the longest and most aggravating layout, in my opinion. Gonna give myself some screen to work with. Wouldn't be surprised if Black is getting really close to the edge. He likes to go off screen, especially on the first chase.
You're able to use the lanterns that are sitting out here and rope darting them to get further and further forward. But yeah, like Kyle said, you have to be pretty confident in what's coming because at some point you might not even see yourself. All right, so we're coming into the last section of the level. Gonna enter the car wash here.
Oop, got a drippy ghost dripping down from the sky.
Kyle was able to manipulate the ghost respawning and coming down so you could rope dart off of it in a little bit of time. Black doing the same thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay attention when y'all get close because the times. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is really close.
So Sabotage Studios is awesome, and they've done live Q&As with us and confirmed questions like, does this red guy live when he jumps off into the clouds? And the answer is yes, he survives. So we're gonna let him go on to fulfill his fate, whatever it is.
He's our buddy, our pal, our friend. You can see that Vlak doesn't share our love of our friends, and he'll instead use it for a small boost to speed, which I can respect only slightly as a fellow runner.
It's respectable.
But it is respectable. I will miss our friend on black screen. Samurai mentioning that we've actually found our buddy living in Coolshroom later on. All right, Manfred. He's back. He's mad, and we're gonna fight him. Kyle attempting to get Balfred does not pull it off, so he gets to do the real strat of teaching us how to juggle. Juggling Manfred is a skill. Uh-oh. Vlak coming in. Whoo! Vlak coming in with the Balfred.
Ooh. It's never quite an omen for Vlak. He does it in the true heart of speedrunning, so I think that the Untard forgives him.
Yep.
That's
a Balfred right there.
Let's go.
And a great... So, Balfred is every runner... I would say every runner's dream usually to come through.
Nightmare.
And Nightmare. To try to get that particular glitch going. Whereas juggling is typically how you'll do it. Kyle did an amazing juggle to keep up his time. So that I think that puts him about almost 20 seconds behind right now. Very close race.
20 to 30, I would estimate.
So as we're coming into Underworld, the final level of our race, our runners are just going to come through for the final gauntlet, pretty quick level, and then go for the last boss of the race. I was trying to think how I would explain Balfred without taking too much from the rest of the run. Short answer, it's all about positioning, getting in the right spot, and Manfred deciding on that day with the moon in the right spot that he'll just hang out with you for a while.
Yep, exactly. Could be a little frustrating, but I mean, on those runs where everything goes right and you do get the Manfred, it's very satisfying.
That's when you retire. All right. So we'll have a lot of really neat ascents coming through. Maybe a few damage boosts. We'll see how they manage their health through the level. Kyle showing us how it's done with a little worm buddy. Vlak might be not risking the damage boost, so Vlak will go ahead and take it smoothly. And of course not picking up the checkpoint. Who needs that? At this stage, you don't need no checkpoints.
I heard that.
I love the ascent in this lava room. Nothing too crazy about it. It's just pure skill. Rope darting, knowing what's coming next, and then timing your jumps just right. So it feels like a lot of fun when you get it right. Probably one of the main things that pulled me to run the game like this was just some of the super fun movement and how great it felt when you did it right.
I'll second that.
So they're making their final descent right now into the boss room, and we're going to fight our final boss, the Demon General. What I'm imagining I'm going to see for both of these runners is they're going to try to get a bit of damage on him and then get him stuck in the right corner during his first move here to just do a bunch of damage. Depending on how much damage you took to get him there, you need to be careful that he doesn't kill you while you're up there, but they're just going to sit in his hitbox.
Oh, there it is.
Damage. Otherwise, something like what happened to Kyle happens. Vlak was able to pull him down, gets him stuck in place with a few shurikens, calls time, and it's done. And there you go.
GG Vlak.
GG
Let's
Vlak.
go, boy.
Sub for it. That's a 39.52 on his time there.
I'm gonna walk into him again. Okay.
And so again, because Kyle took some damage here, he's going to need to be careful on the descent coming off the boss. And then you'll see him throw shurikens to kind of keep him in place. Hit him about, I think you can hit him up to about 12 times or so before you need to make sure to throw that shuriken again to keep him there. But it's all good. That's time for Kyle, and that's our race. So we got 39.52 for Vlak as the winner. Congrats to Vlak and Kyle as well for an amazing run.
Thank you, sir. Well played, Vlak, as always.
Oh boy, you see them kind of dipping into what would be the rest of the run for this game, but we're not going to get into that today. That's a story for another time. But I think that's it. Kyle, do you have any last minute shout outs?
No, just thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Strizer, for putting this on and for having us here. And seriously, guys, thank you so much for your generous donations. This is an excellent cause, and it's heartwarming to see so many people come out to support it. One more thing, The Messenger is an awesome game, so if you're interested in speedrunning it, please check out our community Discord. If you love The Messenger and its lore, check out Sabotage Studios at their Discord. They got an ARG going on over there, their next game coming up. It's exciting stuff.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you all so much. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all have a good rest of your event.